Jehame District Court on the 18th of June of 2025. In this video, we shall be showcasing every single thing that was discussed and debated in the courtroom session. Mind you, we'll be using illustrative pictures and videos to better explain and portray our point. These videos and pictures are not in any way, shape or form related with the official videos and pictures coming from the court session. At the same time, feel free to visit this website and email address showing right now on your screen, just in case you want to fact check us and order for the official transcript from the Court of Law on the 18th of June of 2025. Yes, with all of that being said, let's showcase what played out in the court session and every single thing discussed within. Well, the court session started by the prosecuting lawyer informing the judge that he planned on cross-examining Simon, and this time around he wants to get first-hand info about his financial records, his financial dealings, and the monies received and the money spent sometimes last year. The presiding judge granted the prosecuting lawyer the permission to cross-examine Simon. So the prosecuting lawyer asked Simon to come up and take the stance. Simon walked quietly and gently, wearing a grey colored suit and a black shoes. He walked up to the stand, and the prosecuting lawyer started by saying, I will be asking you some questions regarding your incomes and your expenses. Please and please, I will need you to give me clear and illustrative answers. And also, just in case you find any of my questions very difficult for you to understand, you are very much free to ask for a calculator. We have a calculator device ready at hand that will be given to you if need be. Also, feel free to talk to lawyer whenever you need legal backings and legal guidance. And the prosecuting lawyer asked Simon, is that clear? Simon said, I will not be needing any calculator, thank you. Every single thing you said is actually very clear to understand. And the prosecuting lawyer said, thank you so much for understanding and thank you so much for your clarity. The lawyer asked the judge to grant him the permission to play a particular video on the court screens, and the judge said, yes, feel free to play that video, feel free to play whatever evidence you have in the court session. And the prosecuting lawyer said, thank you. This lawyer played a video for Simon to watch and give feedback and react to. Well, before we show you the video that was played in the court session, it's very paramount to note that we did a thorough investigation to pinpoint the video based out of the responses given by Simon. So we used the responses given by Simon to know the video that was played in the court session. So showing right now on your screen is this video we believe the prosecuting lawyer played in the court session. The prosecuting lawyer asked Simon, please tell me, what can you see in this video playing right now on your screen? Simon said, okay, I can see different colored of jerseys. I can see white jerseys that has the Biafran logo embedded on them. And I can tell from this video that this should definitely be a footballing dressing room attached to a stadium. And the lawyer said, what else can you tell us about this video? Simon said, okay, I can still see socks. I can see numbers attached to these jerseys, and I can see the color white and the color black. And that is all I can tell. And like I said previously, this is coming from a dressing room attached to a stadium where players were about to kick off a football game. And the prosecuting lawyer said, is that all you know about this particular video showing right now on your screen? Simon said, please feel free to point me to the right direction. You asked me to analyze what I can see right now, and I've given you a clear description of what is playing right now on my screen. Is there something else you want me to see? Please direct me to the point or to the part where you want me to react or make any comments about. The prosecuting lawyer said, do you know anything about this football game that was played somewhere in Sweden? Simon said, yes. The lawyer asked, did you in any way, shape or form finance this footballing project? Simon said, no, I did not individually finance or create this footballing competition in that part of Europe. The lawyer asked Simon again, who created this competition? Are you linked to the creation of this competition, this footballing event in Europe? Simon said, no, I'm not. And the lawyer showed Simon an article coming from Daily Post Nigeria. And we had to do some research to get that particular article, and we did. Showing right now on your screen is what we think the prosecuting lawyer was making a reference to. Back in the courtroom, the prosecuting lawyer said, so you, Simon, you said you did not individually create this footballing competition. But you can clearly see from a post coming from Nigeria, it states that you, Simon, created this competition. Simon responded by saying, so Is creating a football club an offense? Is it illegal? Is creating a footballing competition in Europe illegal? Please let me know. I want to understand your point and I want to know the angle you are coming from. The lawyer said, but I asked you previously, but you said you did not individually create this footballing club. The reason why I'm asking you is because I have other questions lined up that are highly related to this particular one I'm showing you right now on your screen. Simon said, I did not individually created this footballing competition in Europe, but I was part of it. I don't see any reason why creating a football club is now a problem in the courtroom session. The lawyer continued by saying, did you, Mr. Simon, one way or the other, funded this competition in Europe? And Simon was about to answer. He said, hold on, please, I'm not done with my questions. Did you, one way or the other, fund or finance this competition? Did you receive any income or revenue from this competition directly to your bank account? Simon said, okay, are you done with your questions? Do I have the right to give answers to your questions right now? And the prosecuting lawyer said, yes, please answer my questions one after the other. Simon said, first thing first, you asked about if I, one way or the other, funded the creation of this footballing club. Yes, this project was funded by members of the southeastern region of Nigeria through crowd fundraising and virtual fundraising. Yes, over time, from 2003 up until 2004, we did series of crowdfunding and fundraising for this particular project, which I anchored. So as you can see, this is a group project. And your second question is, did I receive any funds from this competition? No, I did not receive any funds directly to my bank account. The revenues generated from this competition was sent straight to the bank account associated with the movement from the southeastern region of Nigeria. This money was sent to its development. Yes, all the revenues generated was sent to the southeastern region of Nigeria for different projects and for developmental goals. And the prosecuting lawyer said, okay, your responses are actually very clear, but then I need more clarity on this particular post showing right now on your screen where it came from your official Twitter page. It states, and I quote, this is coming from the 16th of November of 2024, where you tagged a company in Sweden known as Solid Sports, SWE. It states, Solid Sports Sweden offers to donate 10% of ticket sales to support Biafra. Can you explain this tweet for us to understand? But then before we show you the responses coming from Mr. Simon, let's do a quick description or analyze what the prosecuting lawyer was asking Simon. What's showing right now on your screen is this tweet released by Simon on the 16th of November of 2024, where he tagged a company known as Solid Sport _Sweden, where Simon claimed that this company known as Solid Sport offers to donate 10% of ticket sales to support Biafra. Okay, so for clarity, Solid Sport _Sweden is more like Super Sports in Nigeria. Solid Sports is a company that showcases and give live streaming of footballing content all over the continent of Europe. So Solid Sport is more like Super Sports TV, where this guy showcases footballing content, wrestling content, and all forms of sporting activities. So Solid Sports _Sweden approached Mr. Simon, asking him that, see, we want our company to televise the footballing event of the USP. Hope you guys still remember when some individuals, some foreigners, represented Biafra in a footballing competition in Europe. Hope you guys still remember vividly. So Solid Sports approached Simon, asking him that we want to have the full right to televise these footballing games on our TV channels and also on all of our social media platforms. Hope this is actually very clear to understand. So in a nutshell, this was a streaming deal between Solid Sports and Mr. Simon, where they want to televise and showcase the Biafran Football Club matches on their social media platforms and on their TV channels. So this is a particular tweet the prosecuting lawyer was asking Simon to give him more clarity about. So back in the courtroom section, the prosecuting lawyer asked Simon how much was generated from Solid Sports involvement. How much did you guys get from Solid Sports? You mean the Biafran Football Club matches on their TV channels? And Simon made a very, very interesting response in the courtroom. Simon said, and I quote, Mr. Prosecutor, have you contacted Solid Sports directly to get first-hand info about our deals? The lawyer said, no, I haven't contacted them, but I will definitely do in the nearest nearest future. Simon responded by saying, I've spent over 7 months in detention and you're asking me to give you an analysis of something you can easily do. I feel like your questions don't have basis. I feel like your questions lacks the fundamental basis of a cross-examination. See, if you want to get first-hand info or the deals between I myself and Solid Sports Sweden, you have all the access to these guys. You have placed a call, ask them how much was generated, how much was donated, and how much was sent to Mr. Simon. And these guys will give you all of the back-end analysis and give you all of the receipts, all the transactional files. So you asking me these questions here in the courtroom, I feel like you have a different agenda and a different motive at hand. At this point in time, Simon got really angry because of the way and manner the prosecuting lawyer has been asking him some questions that lacks basis. And that is when he stood up and made a speech addressed to the presiding judges. He said, and I quote, "My lord, I really have to say this because it's becoming too much. Since this cross-examination began, the prosecuting lawyer has been speaking to me in a very way that doesn't feel right. He's raising his voice, cutting me off, twisting my words, and to be honest, I feel like he's not trying to get the truth anymore. It feels more like he's trying to break me or push me into saying something I didn't mean. I came here to defend myself, not to be shouted at or bullied. I'm doing my best to answer every question clearly, but I'm a human being too. Please, my lord, I just ask for fairness, that's all." The presiding judge responded by saying, and I quote, "Thank you, Mr. Defendant. Your concern is noted, and I appreciate the manner in which you have raised it. This court is a place of justice, not intimidation. While it is the duty of the prosecution to question you thoroughly, it must be done within the bounds of respect and professional conduct. I will remind both counsel that while the truth must be pursued rigorously, it must never come at the cost of dignity or fairness. The court will not tolerate any form of badgering, intimidation, or misconduct. Let us all proceed with seriousness. This matter deserves and ensure that every party, whether prosecution or defense, is heard fairly and treated."
Sporty TV YouTube promo, 10 seconds, action.
Okay, we got the best live football in for free.
And not just the...
Whether prosecution or defense is heard fairly and treated with the respect owed to them in a court of law. At this point in time, the prosecuting lawyer said, "Okay, I'm very, very sorry for the way and manner I've been speaking to the defendant. I'll do my best to stay in line and act in full conduct." And this is the response coming from the prosecuting lawyer. Anyways, if you find this video interesting and very, very informative, please do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Thanks. At this point in time, the prosecuting lawyer asked the judge to give him the permission to continue with the cross-examination of Simon, promising that he will stay in line and act professionally. The judge said, yes, feel free to cross-examine the defendant. And the prosecuting lawyer put up another tweet coming from Simon, a tweet posted by Simon himself using his Twitter page. And this was released on the 15th of November of 2024, where it states, "Announcement, 11,000 was watching in 40 minutes. Solid Sports have reached out to me concerning the live stream of the tournament today when Biafra team played. Solid Sports are the exclusive right holders of this tournament and can't allow it to be streamed for free on Twitter. This is illegal as they are the media rights holders. However, they have offered the opportunity for Biafran fans. The Solid Sports have made a tournament all-access pass for all Biafrans and our fans for a small price of €5. I paid about €19 to have this access. You can also follow the Solid Sports _Sweden." And he pasted a link on where individuals and Biafrans can go and subscribe to Solid Sports so as to stream and watch the Biafran FC play in that competition. So the prosecuting lawyer said, "Can you explain the negotiations you had between yourself and Solid Sports? Because based out of this tweet, I feel like you were trying to advertise this company for the whole wide world to see." And Simon responded by saying, "Please, point me to the right direction. Where do you want me to respond? Do you want me to reply to the fact that Solid Sports wants to stream the Biafran matches? Or are you pointing me to the part where I said individuals need to pay €5? Or are you asking me about the €19 I paid?" The lawyer said, "Please give me a detailed response about every single thing showing right now on your screen." Simon said, "Okay, first thing first, Solid Sport, like we all know, is a streaming services in Sweden, and these guys bought the right to stream, which is clearly indicated in this tweet. And I urged individuals to pay for their subscription, and I also paid 19 euros. I urge individuals and the whole wide world to please respect the copyright rules of Solid Sport and don't stream these matches illegally. I see no reason, I see no point why this particular tweet is being brought before the courtroom session. The prosecuting lawyer said, well, let me tell you the truth. We believe that you and some other individuals under your leadership or under your administration has used finances, has used funds from different businesses and from fundraising to purchase different arms in the southeastern region of Nigeria that has caused high rates of insecurity. I feel like this deal between you and Solid Sport is one of the means and methods you used in raising funds for arms deals in Nigeria. Simon responded by saying, you think or you know. Are you saying what you know, or are you just here giving us clear forms of assumptions? If you said, I raised funds to buy arms in Nigeria, please show me the receipt, show me documents, show me financial records. Also show me the individual I bought these arms from and how it was sent to Nigeria. Don't come up here and show me tweets that has no relations to what you are claiming and what you are insinuating. At this point in time, the prosecuting lawyer brought out the documents that we don't have access to. Yes, he brought out the documents, and we believe this document contains financial records and banking history related to someone in Simon's team. He presented these documents in the court of law and said, as you can see, you guys actually sent funds. You guys sent funds to an unknown individual to purchase arms. Simon looked at the receipt or the financial record and asked the prosecuting lawyer, please show me or indicate the part where the main reason of this transfer was to buy arms in Nigeria and send it to Nigeria. Please show me where I signed. Show me the part of this document where I signed, or show me my stamp. The prosecuting lawyer did not say anything, and he brought up a very different tweet. He put up the image of a lady in the courtroom session, and we believe that person is the Deputy Prime Minister of the USB movement. The prosecuting lawyer asked Simon, who is this lady showing right now on your screen? Simon responded by saying her name is Ngozi Orabueze. The lawyer asked, who is she to you? Simon said, ask your questions properly. Are you asking me if we are married? Are you asking me if me and this lady are dating or in a relationship? Are you asking if she's my relative or a sibling? Please point me to the right directions. You are making me very, very confused here at this particular point in time. The lawyer said, okay, I want you to give me a quick description of what you know about her. Simon said, well, she works under me as a fellow content creator that reacts, that tries to analyze news and updates coming out from Nigeria. Yes, she's also a legal-minded individual. She's also a professional nurse who has the interests of humanity at heart. She's a good individual and she works under me in our department. The lawyer said, okay, that's very fair. I like your answers. It was straight to the point and very, very descriptive in nature. The lawyer said, I'll play a video right now in the court session. I want you to watch that video closely and tell me what you can see and tell me what you are holding, okay? Simon said, okay, please feel free, play the video and I will give you every single thing I know. At this point in time, the prosecuting lawyer played something in the courtroom session, and from Simon's response, we can tell that it's a video of Simon holding a particular document or a particular book from the USB or the Biafran movement, yes. So the question here is, what is that video? What is the content of that video? So yeah, from what we think, showing right now on your screen is the video that was played in the courtroom session where Simon was seen holding a book. That book can be the Declaration of the Sovereign State of the USB or something close to that. Or probably it can still be the Constitution. We can't tell for sure, but we know Simon was holding a document or a book coming from the USB movement. So back in the courtroom session, the lawyer played this particular video and asked Simon, what can you see in this video? Simon said, I can see myself dancing in my sitting room, which is in my own house, a house I bought by myself from my hard-earned money. Simon asked the lawyer, is this a crime? Is dancing in my own sitting room well-dressed now a problem? The lawyer said, no, it's not a problem. I want you to look at something you are holding. What is that book you are holding there? Simon said, at this point in time, I cannot fully recall the book, the precise book I was holding. I can't recall. I don't want to give any statements that I'm not sure of. The lawyer said, as you can clearly see, if you zoom into this video very, very well, this book is coming from that Biafran movement, a movement you headed, movement that you are the Prime Minister. Simon said, okay, so how is this a problem? How is holding a book, dancing in my house, now a problem? Is it against the law to dance to Nigerian music? Is it against the law to dance in my own sitting room? Is it against the law to be well dressed? The lawyer said, no, calm down.